The Tao of Self-Confidence, Episode 11.
Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of outstanding women finding their inner journey to self-confidence 5 days a week. Visit our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com to check out amazing blog articles and our killer resources.
Hello friend, welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host, Sheena Yap Chan, and today I have an amazing woman out here today. I've met her, for some time now, but a couple of years. I met her at a live event, and there was always something about her that just screams out self-confidence, right? She stands out there, just with so much confidence in herself and in her family. She's a great mompreneur, social mediapreneur, and she's always willing to do whatever it takes to live the best of her life and to provide for her family. So I'm just going to introduce you to Anna Zubarev, right? She's right now from Brooklyn, New York, and I'm going to let her talk to you about more of what she does and a little bit about herself. So Anna, how are you today?
I'm excellent, Sheena. Thank you so much for having me here.
Well, I'm more appreciative that you're here, just taking the time to do this. Seriously.
Well, feeling is mutual,
So maybe you can tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Sure. It's going to be a pleasure to talk about, to give a little background story about me, where I come from, and where I'm at right now, and where I'm going, So, first and foremost, I'm an immigrant. My family brought me, and I'm immigrated into this country back in 1992. So we've been here for slightly over 20 years. And English is not my first language. Russian is the language that we primarily speak at home. Well, mostly it's Runglish. So we mix and match. And I came into this country. I was 15 years old. My family had nothing in here besides just couple of other family members that were here from way back, and that were able to help us to understand, comprehend, and help us initially. But bottom line is, coming into this country with no money, coming into this country with no English, no skills, nothing completely. I went to school. I finished a business school. Went back to got my job. I had worked in the mortgage industry for over 10 years, and then I had my first child, and the mortgage industry that is, crashed in 2008, and that was when my daughter, my firstborn, was just slightly. I think she's a little bit over 10 months. And this is the time when I said to myself, this is the industry that's not where I want to be, even though I loved being in that industry, loved everything about it, the people, and the feel of it was just totally my air and everything that I was breathing, right? So mortgage industry, I said, that's it. I'm not coming back to it because it was just really bad timing, really, really bad timing for me. And I was not going to go back to the struggle. So I completely revamped my resume, changed a lot of it, and found myself working for a corporate Fortune 500 company. I worked 5 years in human resources, working in leadership development department, and which helped me tremendously a lot with understanding skills of leadership and development. And that's where I worked for 5 years until my husband and I got into a network marketing industry. Basically, he got there first. And the way it happened for him was he also, just like me, worked in a corporate level for 15 years. He worked for one company for 15 years, working in a cubicle at the then-end job, even though the company was paying him really good money. But, living in New York City, everything cost a lot. The living expenses, not like you would live in the suburbs, right? So bottom line is, the life we were living, both of us, working the corporate jobs, coming to work, coming back from work, it took a good hour to and from work. So, and then kids came along, and we were struggling in a sense, like not financially, but mentally understanding and comprehending, like, why is it that we have to be away from our kids, especially me, right? Like me, I've struggled for 7 years, couldn't get pregnant. finally got pregnant, gave birth to my first child, and then I had to leave her at home with my mother when she was 10 months old. So to me, this was actually a really crucial point at that time where it was really painfully mentally leaving home when she was so little and going to work, going to a job that I had to do. It was a necessity, right? Because I knew I had to pay the bills. I knew we had to cover that. But was I spiritually happy? No, I'm not gonna say that. Even though I had gained some friends and the last company, in the last corporate job that I've had, but needless to say, it wasn't a place for me to be and be myself first and foremost. And myself, who you know now, Sheena, right, is the person is always happy, right, always greeting people and being friendly with them and hanging out and, sometimes inspiring, right? Just you or anyone else that we meet throughout the events. This is complete me, right? Well, where I'm willing and able to be a people's person, right? So the corporate job that I've had, that didn't allow me to be who I am today, right? The corporate job kind of got me into a cubicle, got me to do the 9 to 5 and go back home and see my kids maybe for another 2 hours a day, right? Feed them, spend some time, do homework, and then they go back to sleep, and then everything starts all over the place again, right? Then vacation time, I was only allowed for three weeks out of the year, and Alex and I always dreamed about traveling the world, traveling places, and seeing people, and just connecting with different, connecting with different people. So again, going back to the story where how it happened for Alec, and I'm going to bring him into this picture because his story has a lot to do with mine, and his network marketing experience started it when he started to explore more and more of it back in 2009. This is when a friend came over one day to our home and introduced us to a company that was selling juices. So Alex was hooked right there and there, and he started to promote this company. He was starting to he started to understand what it takes to promote something, but back in the days, that particular company did not believe in promoting something virtually, meaning online. It only believed you had to go door to door, hotel meetings or home meetings, all that crap that I actually hated. I really, really did. I couldn't picture myself bringing someone up my home, a stranger, to a place where we raise kids and bringing them and do a meeting. No, this was totally not me. And besides the point, paying for an ownership of something that I really couldn't care less. That was another big struggle of mine. So for a long time, from 2009 until 2012, right? That's when actually even 2011, right? That's when Alex got into Empower Network, where we are today, and still happily promoting this company. He actually switched from deal to deal to deal to deal. It was like crazy roller coaster. Every 3 months there will be a new company. Every 3 months there will be a new comp plan. Every 3 months there will be a new product or whatnot. So I'm like, dude, like you have to stop this, right? So, and then he went to his very first event. He went to his very first event in Florida. This is where actually he was able to meet the owners of the company where we are today and was able to sign up there again, right? That was another company, another opportunity. And of course, I didn't really pay attention to it much because he switched around so much, right? But then something happened, and then he went to his second event. And right after that second event in Atlanta, which you know about, Sheena, right? Alex came home a complete different person. He came back home a complete transformational person, and where he was, there was light in his eyes. There was a belief in his eyes. There was so much passion, right? And he said, "This is it, honey. This is what we're going to be doing full time now. We're going to be promoting this company full time. There is amazing products, amazing people, amazing leadership at the company, amazing people we've met." And I said, like, honey, can I go with you to the next event, which was happening in San Diego in September of 2012. And yes, he said, like, I would love for you to come with me and check it out and just get the feel of it, how it feels to be at the event, meet people, and just get a feel of it. And that's exactly what I did. So I traveled to my very first event in September of 2012, and San Diego, California. Completely fell in love with San Diego, and then I was completely inspired by meeting so many amazing people. At the time when we got there, Alex was already at the top 20 of the company. He was producing great results, so we were qualified to attend leadership yachting experience, right? For like 3 or I don't know how many hours, but it was like good between 2 or 3 hours on a yacht with top 20 of the company. And that included, our very close friends, Aaron Rushkin, Justin and Dee. It was Tony Rush at the time, right? It was Dave and Dave. It was Lawrence and Jessica Tam. I mean, Tracy Walker, Nicole Cooper, all of those superstars, right? Who I was then, I was nobody. I was a complete newbie. Where Alex already kind of was known at the company, where I only came there as a spouse. So I felt like a complete newbie, but I was at the place, for me, it felt like it was a Christmas night where, a lot of presents was happening, right? And something magical was about to happen. So that's how I felt actually that night, meeting and speaking with these people, because those people meant a lot to me, because first and foremost, they spoke a different language. They spoke a passionate language. They spoke confident language, right? They were confident in themselves. And coming back to me, I couldn't say that I was shy at the time, but I'm gonna say that I still was kind of like getting to know everyone, So I couldn't really speak at the level where I'm speaking right now, right, to them, because right now they are close friends, and I can just say that that particular night transpired me to do more and be more involved with my husband's business and just be involved, and from then on, I traveled to every single event. We have not missed one company event, and it was just amazing,
Love the story. So I just have some questions for you. What would be your favorite self-confidence quote?
Oh, that's easy. So back in the days when I was working in a mortgage company, and there was an elderly Russian lady who taught me this quote that I still remember, and I will be repeating it, and will teach my daughter that particular quote. And it sounds a little bit selfish, but it really not, if you think about it. So my very quote is, "Nobody loves me like I do." What that means to me, it represents this, that first and foremost, I am me, I am person. I gotta love me first and foremost before I do anything else for others. And as you know, at Sheena, I do a lot for others. So what that means, like in the morning when I get up, right? I go and take my time in the bathroom. I'm going to get detailed here, right? And when my birthday comes up, right, or a special time in my life, I go and I buy me a present. Like, I treat me as a person needs to be treated, right? Like, I care for me. I go to salon and I do my nails. I go to a museum and I treat me to see a show or anything like it, right? Spend time with my friends. It's like people that like mothers, right? They really constantly care for their families, care for the kids, care for the husband, and they do 9 to 5s as well, right? So when all said and done, we have to remember to care for ourselves. So that's exactly what this quote represents to me. Nobody loves me like I do. That means you have to stop and you have to care for your needs.
I love that quote, and I don't think there's anything wrong with being a little bit selfish from time to time, right? I mean, like you said, you got to take care of yourself. So
yes.
I think that's a perfect quote. I wanted to know, what would be your definition of self-confidence?
That means, basically, to me, it means this. That means I am me, and nothing's wrong with me. There is no derogatories. There is no imperfections. Even though, listen, we all get in wrinkles. We all get that, extra weight here and there, and maybe some outfit may not fit the way it's supposed to fit. But you know what? We have to make the best out of it, right? And I've never been super slim person. And especially after 2 kids, it's hard to get back on track. But needless to say, saying that quote to me, "Nobody loves me like I do," goes really well. So when we go out, and I put my makeup on and I dress my favorite outfits, or you wear my favorite brand accessories, which actually helps me a lot, to feel good about me. I know it's my thing, I guess, right? Or we could call it's a Russian thing, right? We all like brand accessories. So, just wearing the clothing that you wear, you walking the walk that you walk, just do it confidently and just walk that you look like $1,000,000. You have to have this, thought in the back of your head that you feel and you look like $1,000,000. So you have to appreciate you. So that's what confidence stands for to me. So whenever we travel or whatnot, I wear what I consider what I like and my favorite items I bring with me, and that actually tremendously helps to bring up my confidence level even higher than what it is. So I just personally think not only attitude, but just helping, well, actually, not accessories, right? That makes the look, but it's the confidence level in you and the attitude towards life that can help you become more confident and speaking and being friends with the right people, speaking, associating yourself with the right people who can even bring up this confidence level even higher. So in my life, I've had friends that didn't believe in me, and clearly those friends no longer in my life. So just try to surround yourself with people who actually will appreciate you for who you are, not people who are there just because of something else, you know what I mean? And same thing with family members, right? If you have family members that tell you constantly and nagging you, oh, you gotta change and you gotta do this and blah, 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 all this blabbing, right? It's unnecessary, right? It's unnecessary noise to your head. You really need to surround yourself with the right people. So I think that would answer that question.
I love it. I mean, it's true. Your surroundings are so important, right? They say you're the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. So
exactly.
You got to surround yourself with good people, right?
Yeah,
people who have
certainly.
the same vision, same dream.
Mm-hmm.
So what was your life like before you had your discovery of self-confidence?
Well, I would totally say this was way back, way back. Probably maybe in high school days, maybe in school days, or actually, come to think about it, confidence has to do a lot with understanding the subject matter, right? So if I go back to a time when I worked in the mortgage business, and my experience allowed me to call the shots, right? At let's say like 3 to 5 years at my career, right? When I started it initially, I know nothing about that business. I knew nothing how to do anything. But when my level of experience grew, and I was able to call the shots and speak to the owner of the brokerage firm where I was working, that's when my actually confidence level grew tremendously. So whether we're talking about business level of self-employed people, if you know what it is that you're talking about, then yeah, you gotta speak from your heart, and you have to be confident about it, right? And if you are not certain of the subject matter you are teaching to others, and I'm specifically referring to self-employed people or people who are promoting stuff, whether it's affiliate marketing or network marketing or internet marketing, whatever it may be, you know that your subject matter confidently enough, then speak about it and teach others. If there is a doubt in you, there's something that you are not sure about, then you rather not teach it. Continue learning, continue implementing it in your business, and then when you're 100% confident, then yes, go ahead and start bragging about your knowledge.
So, like, you yourself never had to go through anything? Just wondering.
No. I certainly have. I certainly have what I just described to you. In the beginning of my careers, whether it was a human resource career or mortgage career or even network marketing career, right? Because like right now, I could say I have 3 careers in my background, right? Anything that I'm learning, like right now, social media is my passion. So can I talk confidently about it? Still not sure because, there's still room for improvement. There is certain things that I know from the top of my head, and that would be Pinterest. Pinterest, I'm extremely confident about because it definitely gives me the most traffic, right, to my blog. It definitely gives me more, credo in on the street of Pinterest, right? So I could talk about Pinterest really confidently, but can I talk about let's say Twitter confidently? No, because Twitter, it is something that I don't really do it in a sense where it is my source of traffic. You know what I mean? So same thing maybe of wearing Louboutin shoes. I will not be walking on Louboutin shoes. You will not find me wearing Louboutins or, those 10-inch heels confidently. Absolutely not. If you're gonna let me wear wedge shoes, yes, I will wear wedge shoes and I'll wear them confidently. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the way I would look at it.
That's awesome. So it was like your aha moment knowing that, whatever you put into that, you could actually be good at or great at what you do, like being that Pinterest expert, or you just loved talking about it because you had so much confidence moment that you knew that you could do anything you wanted to do.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what I just you referred earlier. Pinterest became an interest of mine about a year ago. I've heard a conversation. I got really inspired by that kind of conversation, and I'm like, all right, let me go open an account, and which is free. You all know that. There's no such thing as social media paid, right? So I went and I created myself an account, and I've started to browse through it, and I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing there, right? Why are all those images? There's no kind of communication or like any sort of engagement, right? But believe it or not, there is ton of engagement on Pinterest, ton. Except that, like people are not used to really commenting on each other's pins. It happens maybe 10% of the time, or maybe even less. Maybe I'll get a comment here and there on my pin, but that's exactly what it is. Like before we get confident on something, you have to put in the time. You have to put in the learning hours of learning one subject matter, right? And just trying your very best to be passionately about it. Not even trying. You got to be passionate. Otherwise, don't even bother doing it at all.
For sure.
Hopefully that answered that question.
Yeah, no, I know. Like I remember you said back in your mortgage days, like you had no clue what to do, and you kept on doing it consistently, and you just started believing in yourself more, and then you had that confidence.
Not only that, like in any business, we take any sort of business, any sort of industry. The way I look at it, the way I like to learn, not only by reading, but also by listening. But another important point to that is by asking questions. Asking the right questions to the right people. That is actually one of my biggest ways I can learn a thing or two. Same thing with Pinterest, right? So I started to implement, started to create my own, kind of a profile and boards and pins, all that stuff. But then I started to look for a webinars on YouTube, and I went to YouTube and I, put in, in the search of YouTube, like Pinterest or how to Pinterest, right? And I started to watch ton and ton of videos. And then I found my influences, people who to today influence their life out of me, how they do in Pinterest and what they create, what they put out there. So, and to today, those people still influence me a lot, right? So, and then I connected myself with several of them on Google Plus and several of them on same kind of people on Facebook, even though that they're not really big on Facebook, but they actually way more bigger on Google Plus and on Pinterest, obviously. So I connected them. I followed them and I started to learn more and more how they doing it, and I started to observe from them. And then when I connected with one particular person, and I actually connected with her, and I started to comment slowly and surely on her Facebook page comments, right, on her postings. And then she also has this thing on Fridays. She puts out this thanks a latte, and she goes ahead and she goes and late let people question anything they want to ask her. So basically, and that was my very first opportunity for me to connect with her in that way, instead of me sending her a message without telling her who I am, what it is that I am about. So basically, connect with the people who influence you, who inspire you. Start following them on whatever social media you are connected with them. Engage with them, comment on their stuff, like their posts, share their posts, right? Just become very visible to them. And then when those people acknowledge that, slowly and surely, right, you'll be able to ask them questions, the right questions. And that's exactly what I did, and I was able to ask her the right questions. She was gladly was able to answer those questions for me. That helped me tremendously with answering a lot of stumbles that I had with Pinterest as well. So that's the way I also like to learn. And if you guys are learning social media, definitely find those influencers, find those people, and engage with them by liking, by sharing, by commenting. Slowly and gradually introduce them to you by doing that way. Don't send them a message trying to get an answer from them right away, because they really will not do that. Neither will I, actually.
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, we probably wouldn't have met or even be on this interview together if, you didn't see my face at every event or every time we met, right? I mean, it's just the constant visibility that makes a big difference.
Exactly.
So, I'm sure your life right now is totally different from whatever you expected. I mean, after your discovery of self-confidence, I mean, you have a happy family. You guys are, job free, right? What's your life like right now?
Well, before I moved into this country, I was 15 years old. What did I know? What I remember is what I remember, coming and, dealing with some of my friends who, I mean, life was absolutely different back then, complete struggle, going to a store, not knowing if there's something, there will be something to buy for me, right? It was constant struggle of, trying to live a life of in a messy, politically messy country. It was just a crazy stuff. But, my shyness, like I remember like being in a company of family or friends, like I would never speak, right? I was very quiet, very shy. Like I would only speak when I was being spoken to, right? Even though my parents never taught me that, to be quiet, to shut my mouth. My family raised me very openly and freely. My mother always came to me and always asked me for advices. My mother always allowed me to make decisions, big decisions in the family. And just for example, or for sake of it, I'm just gonna say it's like if we are making a renovation in the room that we were living in a one-bedroom apartment, four of us. For 15 years of my life, I was sharing a bedroom with my brother. It was not even a bedroom; it was a living room. I was sleeping in a couch. He was sleeping in a couch. But needless to say, if we were going to buy a piece of furniture, or if we were going to buy, if we were going to do a renovation or painting the walls, my mother would always come to me and ask me what color would I want to have in the walls. So my mother would always put me in a situation like she always valued my opinion. So that helped me tremendously to be also who I am today.
I love it. It's sometimes, we don't have that support from family, and it's a good thing. Some people are blessed that, your mother will allow you to make those decisions, while some women are like, you have to follow what everyone tells you.
Well, yes, exactly. It's like right now I'm renovating my kids' room, not me personally, but I've hired help because I cannot do it. I just don't have time. Or I don't want to. Let's just say that. I'm being lazy about it. But if I wanted to paint it, I could have, right? And I've done share of painting when we bought our upstate house, country home. And we've done certainly share of work in here. So in the kids' room right now, we literally Monday we went to Home Depot with the kids and we start choosing colors. So my kids' favorite color is green. But there's a lot of shades of green, right? So we went to the store and I asked my kids, guys, which color do you want? Max, my youngest, who's a 4-year-old, a boy, she said, gonna go with the dark green. I'm like, no. let's go with a different color. So Gabby and I were able to pick this kiwi, like I would say not kiwi, but like semi light green, like lime, very very light lime color. So it's gonna be glazed, and it's gonna have some like shades and like different kind of like shades of that color. So it's not gonna be a whole color of lime green, but it's gonna be like glazed out. I don't know if you know this process, but anyways, so I was always, always also the same thing I do to my daughter. Like I always ask her for her decision. Gabby, what should I do with this, or how should I do with that? It's like if you guys have kids that are listening to this podcast, please let your kids into your lives and help you make a decision, because that will bring their confidence level. That helped me, and I promise you this will help you and your children along the way.
Well, Anna, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview and just sharing your story out there with our listeners. I'm sure they got, not only just awesome social media tips, and just how to get your face in front of, big names on social media, but also the story that you have, right? I mean, I never knew you had to share a room with 3 other siblings, for 50, you said 4 years?
No, just no. It was my brother. I only have one sibling.
Okay.
So it was like a 500 square feet apartment, 1 bedroom.
Yeah.
Apartment, and it was my parents and my brother. So my brother and I were sharing 1 room.
Yeah.
For 15 years of my life.
500 square feet is not that big.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, yeah, that's tiny. So I mean, to go through that and where you are now is amazing. So where can they reach you, right? If they want to read your blog and get more social media tips, where can they reach you?
That would be easy. That will be my name. All you have to do is just look it up in my name, and I'm sure Sheena can provide you with stuff in the back of this podcast, subtitles or whatnot. It's AnnaZubarev.com. That's it. Anna, Zubarev. Anna with 2 N's. So again, I write all about Pinterest and social media tips on my blog, and I give ton of value for free. So it's AnnaZubarev.com.
Lovely. So if you want to become, a Pinterest queen like Anna here, head on over to her blog. So all you need to do is head over to the website, thetowofselfconfidence.com, and search for Anna's name along with her show notes that will pop up with everything else we talked about. And I want to thank you again, Anna, for sharing your journey with us. And I would love to have you back again for sure. I know you have more stories to share.
Absolutely, I'll be happy to, but it has been definitely a pleasure to kind of remembered, certain things that I haven't thought about in a long time, right? Back in the childhood days, of certain things that happened, positive things and not so positive, of the country being collapsing, all that stuff. But, by the end of the day, we are who we are, and, luckily, because of our parents, we are here. But we have to make the best of it by, helping others and inspiring others to be who they are. So
true. Well, thank you again. And to the listeners out there, be sure to check out the next episode, and we will catch you later. Bye.
Awesome.
Thank you for connecting with us on the Tao of Self-Confidence. Visit thetowofselfconfidence.com for links to everything we chatted about, as well as killer resources, gifts, and so much more.